with this class, you're going to be able to learn a lot. I'll show you a lot of videos, a lot of Google scholarly reports that tie driving back to you, because this class is really important. So it's convenient for you and convenient for me. What I'm going to do is in the quizzy, I'm going to go over the questions as thoroughly as possible, giving you a quick example. But this quizzy is from your study guide. So you still have to do the work. Hey, E, how are you doing? Thank you. So this quizzy is from your study guide. So if you don't study, you will fail the test. You got to put in work. So no matter how much I do, if you don't read through this and do your stuff, you're going to struggle and fail. It doesn't mean if you pay your money, you automatically pass. That means nothing. You have to pass this state test. You have to get 71% or higher today. My last class got 71. I'm expecting a higher grade. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to bring this up. Give me 1 second. I got a bunch of windows open, so hopefully I don't lose everything. Just give me 1 second here. And then once I go over this, you will have your questions and you can go ahead and put those. So hold on 1 second. You could go ahead and put, I got like 10 windows open. So give me 1 second here. All right, let's get, okay, sure. Okay, so your classroom accuracy is 77%. Yeah, you beat my last class, but we got to keep working to really make it better so you can learn. Okay, I'm going to end. Let's view the report. Okay, so you got 77% accuracy. There were 19 students. What I'm looking at is the questions. It's 102, so I'm going to try to go through thoroughly. And if you have questions in, don't put your questions in now because they'll get lost. Okay. Roman is driving in heavy traffic and needs to turn his car around to go in the opposite direction. What is the safest type of turnabout he should do? The correct one is backing into a driveway or alley to the right. So when you're driving heavy traffic, you don't want to interrupt the flow. But if you're going the wrong way, you got to turn around. You have to turn around the quickest and efficient and most safest way. Okay, so one of you got it right. 5 of you got it. Well, one of you got it right. 5 of you said pulling into the driveway on the left. Some of you said doing an intersection, doing a U-turn. Don't do a U-turn at the intersection. Emma is driving and approaches a corner where she sees a pedestrian with a guide dog and white cane waiting to cross. She should, it says stop at the crosswalk. This question wasn't 100% thorough, but you should stop and let the person hear the engine running. And then the dog is specially trained. That dog is trained. It takes upwards of $15,000. While driving to school, Hannah sees the traffic sign near the entrance. This traffic sign means it's a stop sign. Obviously, the stop sign didn't appear. You want to stop completely. You want to look left, right, left, stop for a minimum of 3 seconds. Olivia is driving her car and wants to know what type of vision helps her sense how fast she is traveling and what type of vision gives her a sense of speed. This is fringe vision. It really should be peripheral vision, okay? It should be peripheral vision. So that's the correct answer. Peripheral vision is your side-to-side vision. Kai is driving on a busy highway in the middle of the lane behind a large truck. He wants to pass the truck. What is the best for Kai to do? You want to pass on the left, if possible. Well, what if I can't pass on the left? If you have to pass, then you need to pass on the right, but you really should pass on the left. The bottom line is stay away from trucks, stay away from cars. What's up? All right, let's keep going. Emma is driving in a heavy rainstorm. Uh, she wonders if it is unsafe. It is unsafe to use the cruise control because you could slide out of control. You don't want to use cruise control in heavy rain, heavy snow, fog, or heavy traffic. Okay, the cruise control is for an open highway. While learning to drive, Michael's instructor reminds him that a proper braking requires to use your heel of the foot on the floor. You want to have your heel on the floor, and you want to use the ball of your foot. Okay, so we drive with our right foot only. We're here in America. We're driving automatic cars. If we were driving a manual, you would use your left foot to push in the clutch. Lily is driving her car, and she wants to know when she should use her low beams. You want to use your low beams at all times. Cars have daytime running lights. You don't use, let's keep going. Ava is driving home from work, and it starts to rain. Her choice of speed should be influenced by the weather. If it's bad weather, you drive slow. Snow, fog, rain, icy conditions. Sophia is driving and approaches an intersection. Unless otherwise marked, how many lanes of traffic is it? It is one big lane. In our state, we have that large left. Harper is waiting at an intersection, sees a flashing yellow arrow. What does this indicate about the traffic? If you have a flashing yellow arrow and we're Harper, the cross traffic has a green light. So we want to be patient and let traffic go by before we make left turns. Left turns are the most dangerous. Hey guys, give me some thumbs up. I'm trying to get 20 thumbs up. Please hit me with those. Thank you. Okay, let's keep going. Match the following actions to the correct right way of yield. What is correct action when an emergency vehicle comes? You want to pull over to the edge of the road. What should you do if you see emergency vehicle in the right lane? Stay where you are. What should you do if you see emergency vehicle in an intersection? Get through the intersection immediately. James is driving late at night, and he encounters a stretch of road covered by thick fog. What should he use for the best visibility? You want to use your low beams, but I know what you're thinking. I should turn on my high beams, but the light will reflect the fog particles back in your face. Olivia is parked in an angled parking spot on the street with two-way traffic. So remember, there's two-way traffic. Okay, one lane is going past you, the other lane is going the opposite way. You're angled parked, so you got to visualize this. She wants to back out of the space. She should always back slowly and look over her right shoulder. So a lot of you didn't understand the question. You have to look over your right shoulder. Henry is driving on a sharp curve. When should he use his brakes? You want to use your brakes before you enter the curve. If you wait too long, you're going to lose control. I've had a lot of beginning drivers go off the road because they're going too fast. You want to go slow. You want to take your time. Dave is driving on the road and wants to pass a car in front of him on the right. What situation is prohibited for Dave to pass on the right? If he crosses a solid white line. In some states, if you cross a solid white line, you're breaking the law, and you could get a ticket. Match each location with this safest area. Seth's location to pull over. You want to try to pull over. This is the safest place when you're driving. You want to try to pull over to the side of the road if possible. You don't want to pull over in an intersection. You don't want to pull over on the left side on the freeway where the yellow line is. You want to pull over where you're safe, where you can work on your car. You might have to check something. Maybe the police officer pulled you over. Okay? You want to be safe in a well-lit area. Kind of gave you the global view on that. When driving, Kaya notices a broken yellow line on the road. This means passing is permitted. Oliver is riding his motorcycle on the roadway. What is he allowed to do? You have full use of the lane. In our state, motorcyclists and some bicyclists have full use of the lane. Match the following scenario, whether it's legal to turn left on a red signal. Legal to turn left on a red signal scenario. If you are turning onto a one-way, that's a tricky one. Never legal to turn left on a red. It is illegal. You have to wait until you have a blinking red arrow, a blinking light. Legal to turn left on red if you see clearly in an urban area. So you always have to look. You want to make sure we're clear for traffic. Emma is entering an expressway using an entrance ramp. What is the best way for her to safely merge with the expressway traffic? You want to accelerate. You want to get your speed up. A lot of beginners go too slow and they get really scared. So we got to hit that ramp and go. After completing the left turn, remember, you just made your left turn onto a multi-lane road. Which lane should you enter unless otherwise posted? You always want to turn in the closest lane, but I'm confused, teacher. What if I have 3 left turn lanes and I'm in the middle left turn lane? Stay in your middle left turn lane. What if I'm in the inside left turn lane? Stay in that inside left turn lane. What if I'm in the outside left turn lane? Whatever lane you're in, stay in your lane. Sophia is driving and approaching an intersection where she needs to make a right turn onto a two-way. What should she do? Again, turn into the nearest lane, closest to the curb. Oliver is driving and has the legal right of way at an intersection. When should he yield the right of way? If it prevents crashes, if a person is walking out in front of you and they don't see you, yield. If any emergency vehicle is coming and they don't see you, yield. If a truck is going to run the light and you know the truck is going to go through, yield. Use common sense, yield if it prevents an accident. James is driving in a thick fog and can barely see the road ahead. What should he do if his visibility becomes extremely difficult? Pull off to the side of the road. Pull off. You will drive with fog. About 2 years ago, we were driving with fog. It wasn't really heavy, but I had my student drive, reduce speed. It was a great educational experience. What should you do if your brakes fail? You want to try to pump the brake a couple of times, downshift to a lower gear, get the car off the road. Brake failure does happen occasionally, but you have to be prepared. Maya is driving home late night. Suddenly she encounters a thick patch of fog. We already talked about this. Use your low beam headlights. Samuel is driving at night on a quiet country road. When should he use his high beams? Whenever there are no oncoming vehicles. Charlotte is driving her car when the head restraint system properly adjusted. In which scenario will these head restraints provide her with the most protection? If her vehicle struck from the rear. That's a great situational question. I need you to put some questions in for me as an instructor. You need to put a Q and then your question. Put a Q and your question. I need you to do that now. If each of you put in 3 or 4 questions, you're going to get a lot of good information. Put questions in, put a Q and then your question. This is your chance to do this right now. Remember, we want to schedule tomorrow's drives, so we're not stressed. It's going to be easy. We also want to show you some videos. I also told you your work you need to do. The time is really going fast. I have attendance done. So now you need to put in your questions. The chat should be open. Let me show chat. Hold on. It should be open. Hold on. The chat is now open. Okay, put your questions in. Put a Q in the question. Typing in, it should be open. There was an update, and I should see them populate right now. Put a Q and then a question, please. I'm starting to see them come in. Okay, so first, Jen Sun said, what is the difference between peripheral vision, frontal vision, and central? Okay, this is central vision. What we see right in front of us, that's our central vision. Okay, our central vision is right in front. Okay, our frontal vision is right outside of our central vision. That is our frontal. And then our peripheral vision is to the sides. Okay? Like you see someone walking beside you, that is your peripheral vision. Your frontal vision is right in between your central and your peripheral. It's like your fringe vision, like you see someone walking in from your early left or early right. You see a ball coming in, and then you kind of step sideways. Then you see a ball coming from the side, and then you kind of get hit. Let's keep going. The quiz is proprietary. It's mine, Carson. So I make my own. So actually, it's your study guide. So it shouldn't be available on the internet. So I make a proprietary quiz. Sorry. But you can see your score, and I'll go over it. Let's get in more questions. Grace, we kind of review some of the elements of the study guide. What happens? I'm going to call on each of you, Grace. I'm going to call on each of you. I'm going to have you read 20 questions. Right, today, we're going to go over the quizzy. We're going to see some videos. We're going to go over information you need. Put in more questions. Are there any scenarios where you don't use high beam? You always have to use your headlights, Logan, to see and be seen. We now have daytime running lights, even in broad daylight. If you have daytime running lights on, you can be seen. So, I don't know, 14 years ago, the automotive manufacturers made daytime running lights. On the question where it asks what part of your foot is on the pedal. Okay, your ball of your foot is on the pedal, Seth. Your heel stays on the floor. I'm going to use my big size 14 shoe to help you. Okay, this is my shoe. All of you see this. This is your heel, Seth. All of you should see this. This is your heel. Your heel stays on the ground. You use the ball of your foot. Okay? Use the ball of your foot to squeeze the brake. Your heel stays on the floor. That's the teachable moment. I know you love my size 14 and my crispy yellow shoes. I know you do. Yeah, I'll be wearing them colors. Will we ever practice parallel parking your first drive? You'll parallel park 10 times each. All of you will parallel park 10 times. You have to know how to parallel park. Keep the questions coming in. This is your chance to ask questions. Okay, today is going to be a question and answer session. You're going to put in your question. We're going over the study guide. What should I do if I have a study guide since I was not able to access the quizzy? Emily, you're okay because I used elements of the study guide. Emily, if I need to email the link to you, I can do that, okay? So it's not a problem. But I like it that it's private because people just want to copy stuff and don't want to put in the work. So I like that it's private. But I can send you a link, Emily. That's not a problem. Question, when the truck is in front of you, why do you turn right? I'm confused, Jen. I don't understand what you're saying at all. When the truck is in front of you, why do you turn right instead of left? You got to go back to English 10, girl. I'm confused. Retype that question. Real talk. I'm an educator. Okay? Explain it more. All right. Let's keep going. I need more questions. Come on. This is your class. You put it in. Right? I'm reading your questions. So you'll parallel park 10 times. I'm going to go through some more questions. You know when it's foggy, you should always use your low beams. If you can't see, you pull over to the right. I'm going over some of your questions. What you guys don't realize, I copied some of your study guide, and I'm going over some of the questions that will be on your test, and you need to know this, so I don't have to repeat. But you did beat my first class. You got a 70. Let's look at the score because we want to use data. Keep putting your questions in. Everyone needs to put in a couple questions. Okay, you got 77, so you beat my last class, but I got to keep pushing you. Okay, when is it legal to pass on the right versus the left? When the line is broken on the right. Say, when is it legal to pass on the left versus the right? When the line is broken. If you have a broken line, this means you can pass. Answered your question. Will all of us take turns driving tomorrow? There are 20 of you. I'm only going to pick 9. Dun, dun, dun. Got it? So I'm going to look at scores. I mean, how do we arrive at who should drive tomorrow? We want to pick the students with the highest scores, right? So I could look at your scores, but I'm going to pick Emily first, and I'm going to see who really participates. Put in more questions, because I can stop at 8 o'clock. I can stop at 8:15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to drive 8 people tomorrow. So you got to put in questions. I'm not stressing. I'm just going to do my schedule for tomorrow. I'm going to drive 8 people. Yes, all of you will be scheduled. I'm not going to stress. It's going to be really simple and chilled. Okay? What's the difference between a yellow line and a white line? The white line is on the right side of the road. Okay? We're in America, so we drive on the right. No cap. The white line is on the side. It's called the edge line or fog line. On the expressway or highway, we have broken white lines. Traffic is moving in the same direction. We can change lanes. I'm on vacation, so I can't drive. I'm not, Leo, I'm not worried about that. I'm just giving you love right now, okay? But thank you for telling me. Where are you at, Lee? Leo, where are you at? Where you at? You can say it. Oh, my man in Florida. Baby, send me some sunshine. I ain't mad at you. I am not mad, man. You better get some of that sunshine. Send it to me. I am not mad. Enjoy that vacation, big boy. Big boy. Okay. If you can't see the lines because they are worn out, the weather's bad. There's wintertime in our state. We have the 4 seasons. So if you can't see the lines, if cars are going the same way as you, you're probably going the right way. What our Department of Motor Vehicle will do, they will get out and salt the roads and clean them so we can see the lines. You will learn to drive even without lines. That's a good question. That's a pure question. So if the weather's too bad for you to see, you shouldn't be driving. And yes, some of our lines are worn out. It costs a lot of money to replace and repaint the lines. I love the question. Are we in the hood? Sometimes we are in the hood. The hood is whatever you make it. What about passing on dirt roads? We normally don't drive on dirt roads. They want us to keep the car clean. But obviously, so you don't have lines on dirt roads. But if you go to the edge of the road, you're going to fall off. So I'm being pure. So don't go to the edge of the road on the dirt road. You'll fall off. No cap. And if it's a dirt road, and if it's a one-way dirt road and you see signs, you should always drive on the right. If it's a two-way dirt road, you should stay to the right. Okay? A lot of you have been on dirt roads. Some of you have not. I may take you on there. But can you explain why the flash? Why? Hold on. Can you explain why we flash people? It says, Seth, it doesn't say anything about flash people. It says drive up to them. And usually they're blind. So no cap, Seth, they wouldn't see the flash. So you're going to come up slowly, and the blind person or limited sight person will hear the car. And the guide dog that they have will sit by the edge of the intersection, warning their master that you have to stop moving. Okay? And then this person may have a guide stick and guide dog. So service dogs are trained to protect their master. Where are the blind spots at? They are 4. I love it. Let's pretend this box is your car. There's a blind spot in the front. I don't know if you should be able to see it. There's a blind spot in the front, to the right, to the left, and in the back. Again, there's a blind spot in front, to the left. There are 4 blind spots. You have to look over your shoulder, check your blind spots. Do we have to do roundabouts? Every day, Leo. Every day. We going on them roundabouts, baby. Every day. Leo, I like the energy you bring. I like that. Do you want us to turn the papers in? I'll put in my number and you'll take a screenshot and send it to me. Keep the questions coming in. In about 4 minutes, we're going to start scheduling. It's real easy. I'm not stressed. I need more questions. We talked about blind spots. There are 4. Left side, right side, front and back. Cars have 4 blind spots. Trucks have 4 blind spots. Big semi-trucks have 4 blind spots. You have to look over your shoulder. Keep going. I'll put my number in, Sophia. Quit stalking me. I'm playing. I'll put my number in because we all communicate by telephone number. Okay? And then I'll read information. Do we have 2 hours? We have class tomorrow. Yellow is warning. The yellow's warning, and we'll show you by pavement markings. Put in more questions. Okay, at a 4-way stop. Question, at a 4-way stop or intersection without lights, who goes first? The person to the right or the person who gets there first? The person to the right or the person who gets there first? Good question. Where will we be driving or just random? Zach, no, I'm not random. We start in the parking lots. We do figure 8s around the light poles. You learn to turn. We'll do 5 parking spots, stall parking. Then we'll go to a neighborhood. You do more parallel parking. You'll practice pulling in a driveway, reversing out. You'll practice driving in, reversing out. Once you do that, you're going on the main road. The sooner I can get you out, the better. But I have to get you comfortable. You're going to be in the parking lot, making turns, going down the aisle, going up the aisle, doing figure 8s around the light poles, parking. Wear thin sole shoes. Don't wear thick shoes. Thin sole shoes. The Crocs are okay. Converse are okay. I'm not sponsored. Converse or Crocs are okay. Don't wear old hard Nikes. Don't wear platform shoes. Don't wear flip-flops. Wear comfortable soled shoes. Each of you will be driving an hour. You have to have 6 hours and 4 hours of observation. Every state is different. Is it real life? You're in this class, it's just real life. As soon as we get in the car tomorrow, it's real life. If you run a light, we could get killed. If you don't check your blind spot, we could have an accident. And if you're at fault, so yes, Lex, it is real life. This is where you grow up. I love it. It is real life. This is where all of you grow up. So playtime is over. If you run a light and hit someone, you'll be at fault. You will fail the class. If you injure someone, heaven forbid, no, you could go to jail. It's serious. I'm the instructor. You have a permit issue number by the state. So let's pretend you got an accident. This could postpone you getting your license for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Keep the questions coming in. Is there a camera in the car? Do we see how? Anna, it's called old school. It's called look out your back window. Yeah. We're driving a 2010 OG Impala. You got to look out your back window. What? No, I don't have a new. I don't have a new yet, but I will get the new. The company's upgrading. I'm in the OG Impala. It's the big boy because I'm a big man. I'm 6'4", 280. Not going to put me in a little hat box. You're going to be in that big OG Impala? Yeah. But you're going to have to work. You will love it. It's going to be comfortable. I'm telling you, 8 of you or 9 of you are going to be driving tomorrow. I'm not going to stress. And then the next day, I'll schedule more, right? Put in more questions. Yes, it's real life. You don't want to run a light. You want to have good speed control. Don't stare at the speedometer. You get your permit, so what's going to happen? You have 6 hours of driving. You have to pass your state test, 80 questions. You got to drive 6 hours within 6 weeks. I got to have a 3-year drive scheduled before the last day of class. Keep the questions coming in. Let's get a couple more questions. Then I'm going to start. I need more questions. We always practice parallel parking. If you parallel park, you won't pass. My quizzes are proprietary. I don't want them out on the internet. I like that ownership, because all people do is copy and use AI. We talked about vision. I'm going to do another little cut and paste so you know. So hold on. I'll put that in there. Guys, I hope this was helpful. Follow my content. Leave comments. Bye.